Hello everyone, welcome to Insights into Your Being. When we slowly learn to observe our thoughts, we realize that we have some patterns very deep within us. And when we become aware of it, then we want to heal that condition. We often attract a teacher, a friend, or a workshop, or a book to ourselves at such times that begins to awaken new ways to approach the dissolving of the problem. I remember my experience when I happened to read a post on Facebook. It was a beautiful post and it turned out to be my college friend who had shared her journey of how she fought her illness through emotional freedom technique. I felt very inspired and I messaged her saying that I want to meet you. She very happily agreed and we met at a coffee shop after 23 years. She told me she's a life coach. The word life coach, the title, I just love the feel of it, not knowing that in the next 4 years I'm going to be one. She explained everything about EFT to me and it all bounced above my head, and though I was agreeing to her and I said yes, maybe someday I will experience a session with you, and I did that after 2 years. But for those 2 years she continued guiding me. I kept calling her up. We kept in touch. I took guidance from her whenever I needed any counseling or confidence or reassurance or a little bit of power, ability to speak during my stressful period. She always guided me and never pushed me into EFT, as if she waited patiently for the right time. Right things happen at the right time. So she waited for the right time to come, and then the time came. How it all started was, while I was working as a teacher, my colleague also happened to know EFT, and she also turned out to be a common friend. And when we started having the conversation, she offered a free session to me, and I very happily agreed to it. 5 to 7 minutes of tapping rounds of emotional freedom technique. The next day I saw myself feeling very positive and emotionally strong. That's when I experienced the benefit of it. It was very hard to believe, but I had to agree that yes, it was working. It was something that was really working. I decided that I will go to my friend back again. After 2 years of working, because of shifting of residence, I had to quit my job. And that was the time, coincidentally, when EFT workshop was being conducted and was being facilitated by that friend itself. I spoke to her and she said, yes, there is an upcoming workshop, please come for it. And at that time I found it really expensive to spend money on. I did not feel it's worth spending money on the workshops, and the fee, listening to the amount for the first time, I felt I wasn't willing to pay for it. She insisted and told me not to take stress about the money. She said, just pay as much as you feel like, but just come for it. She knew it, how much I needed it, how much it will empower me. She was so compassionate. She just relieved me by saying that do not stress yourself simply for the fee. Pay how much you're comfortable to pay, but just come. And the burden just fell off. I attended the workshop And the day one just passed by, and again everything was just going above my head, and I was just, okay, yes, I'm here. I was listening, and the tapping was of course working, but I did not feel that it made any sense at that time because my body was showing resistance. I now realize this, that my body was showing resistance. Day 2 came, I went for the workshop, and after lunch, I don't know what happened to me. I started crying and I just walked out. My body was just not allowing me. The fear was so strong. The fear to be liberated, to be free of all the fears once and for all, was not allowing me to be there. डर के आगे जीत है, but the डर is so strong that it did not allow me to sit there, and I just walked out of the workshop. And I was crying there, sitting, thinking, I'm just wasting my time. Wherever I come, I have enough knowledge. I can work on myself. I don't need all this tapping and things like that. It was just not making any sense to me. My body just showed resistance. And there, while I was thinking what to do, I was in a dilemma whether to go back inside or go walk away home. What will happen, and all those beliefs that what will people think about me, whatever was coming up, it was just, the emotions were getting released. And I felt a hand on my shoulder, and when I turned around, it was one of the assist team members of the workshop. She was so kind. I just cried on her shoulder and expressed, and I confessed my feelings, and she just gave me a listening ear. And that was needed at that time. She acknowledged my feelings and listened, and she heard me completely. And then she took me back into the seminar hall. I completed the workshop of 2 days. I was excited to receive the certificates at the end of 2 days. And then I came to know that we can get a practitioner certificate only after we submit case studies. I was like, okay, I'm not going to do that, but at least I got a certificate of participation, and I was happy with that. And there was a swap meet announced on that day, that after a month we are going to meet and revise our lessons and give and receive the process. I was like, I'm not going to go for it, but okay, yes, fine. I found myself there also, and then there was no looking back. I was talking about the resistance that your body shows to change. Just wait and watch. While I was at the swap meet, I was so nervous. Whenever that was again the EFT working, my nervousness just surfaced. When I am in public, at that time I had issues where I felt I was performing and I had to be perfect, and I better get appreciation. I hope I don't make a mistake. I hope I don't make a fool out of myself. How will I give the process? How will I receive? When I was receiving, I felt I don't have any issue. I don't have any problems. I'm okay. I can solve my problems. And nothing was coming up. Body showed so much of resistance. The entire emotions were just triggered, and everything just opened up. Then I somehow managed to receive the process, and I was like, yes, half the time I was just faking, yeah, okay, yeah, maybe, yeah, I'm feeling better, yes. And then I started giving the process. I was so nervous, I did not know how to go about it. I felt it's like a test to me, and it was just an experience. I somehow did well in that. She really did benefit, and I regained a little bit of confidence, thinking that yes, I can do it. There was a lot of inner conflict going on inside, but I did not realize that it's the layers of, like onion went on peeling off. And then the next workshop, and then the next, then EFT 3, Matrix, Journey Intensive, NLP. There was no looking back. Assisting the workshops of Vitality Living College. my journey just went on. It was so beautiful. It has been so beautiful. I met so many friends and mentors on my path. And now I feel that I'm at a much better place, though I'm still a work in progress. But yes, I have learned to love myself a little more. I'm still learning to do that, but I have definitely learned this lesson that yes, loving yourself is the key to all your problems. I'm still on my way to love myself a little more. That's Diksha Wadhwa, life coach, EFT practitioner, NLP practitioner, matrix reimprinting practitioner. Stay tuned. Love yourself.